Clint, it's Monday morning.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if you're working today. I can promise you're not going to be productive today because
my mind's elsewhere.
All of the attention has been diverted to the matter at hand, Clint. And the matter at hand is that our team, your team, dare I say America's team, is playing for a national championship against the Horned Frogs. It's actually a toad, if you think about it.
And yet, a mythical creature.
They're calling it a frog, a bit of an identity crisis in Fort Worth. Georgia, TCU for the national championship tonight. Are we nervous? Yeah.
Y'all.
Do we think we're going to win? Yeah.
Two things.
Or are we going to tell you what the score is going to be? Absolutely, today on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Everybody, how are you doing? Welcome, Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. More on them in a moment. But Daniel, the day is finally here. Dog fans, the day is here. It's another national championship, 2 times in a row, being at the big game. California, the last time we were at a playoff game in California.
I nearly died.
Y'all thought Clemson
nearly
game,
deceased,
where I'm fireman carrying my man out of the Coliseum, out of the stadium, was bad. We all died collectively, and then were revived by the absolute beautiful running of the Dogs on that day. We got SoFi, and like Daniel said, here it is. We're going to tell you why we are nervous. And loyal third segment listener, get the bottles and the buckets. Get them ready.
You're going to need them both.
You're going to need both of them, because we're going to then talk about why we're nervous, why we will win, and then give some score predictions on this game. So, Daniel, let's give the Dog fans, because this is ultimately what defines us as fans, okay? So if you're new to the podcast, if TCU fan, which, by the way, quick aside, TCU fan, you're better at fanning than all our other opponents combined.
It's really shockingly true. TCU fan has acquitted themselves quite nicely in this arena. We love to see it. It's been a really fun week.
It has been. I had no clue until you told me. I still thought Baylor, Texas, SMU, and A&M were in Fort Worth. Is that
they may be? It's hard to say.
I had no clue.
They may be TCU.
That's what I don't know.
If you've never seen Baylor and TCU in the same place at the same time, you can't prove to me that they're not the same school.
I thought
all I'm trying to
was
say.
Only reserved for TBN. I did not realize that purple could be a mascot color.
It's a royalty. It's a color of royalty.
Okay.
All right.
Daniel,
we
are
nervous,
talking
Clint?
what we're nervous about.
Okay.
And
people do love the banter, though, so we could keep up with that.
They do love the banter.
They let us know that.
I am nervous, and you should be nervous, Dog fan, and Daniel is nervous for this game. And let me just tell you why you should be nervous. Because it's the college football playoff.
Okay.
And because last year, Daniel so eloquently waxed to us today on a text message thread that the last time that we had a national championship game, there was a team favored by 12 points.
Well, no, that's not true. There was a team favored by 3 points. That team won by 15 points in last year's national championship game. Therefore, Las Vegas was incorrect about the spread of the game by 12 points. Now, fast forward to this year's game. What's the line again?
Oh, no. See, it was at 12.5. It jumped back up to 13 after Sharps came in with money on the Dogs, which should make you excited.
13 points don't mean that Georgia's winning this game. No, you understand? No. That's not what that means. 13-point Dogs win all the time. That's for Las Vegas to be wrong about a number by 13 points is not that unusual.
No.
So, Georgia fans should be nervous, not because it's something about Georgia or because it's something about Las Vegas. Georgia fans should be nervous because TCU is a really good football team. People get so wrapped up in This doesn't happen in any other sport. College football teams are judged almost exclusively based on the composite ratings of high school seniors on their rosters. Do you realize this?
Now, real quick, we have talked about 4-star and 5-star recruits.
Of course we have.
Okay. Now, a little context for that, because TCU has all of them 3 stars. Okay.
Sure.
We've said that they're lotto tickets, and you want lotto tickets that have a better chance of hitting. That's what the star rating system is. It's not guaranteed. It's not even a measure of a guy's gift. Like, truth be told, it's not a skill gift. It's his ranking on if he will pop compared to other players.
Right.
It's just a percentage chance. It's a roll of a dice.
Here's the problem. TCU does not have a roster filled with randomly selected average 3 stars.
No.
They have a roster filled with their current players. And guess what their current players are? Good at playing football together on this team. So people don't judge football teams, college football teams, based on how well they're playing.
No.
Because excuses are made about, oh, they didn't play anybody, oh, Tarleton State, oh, this, that, and the other, whatever.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that TCU is playing great football. Georgia is playing great football.
Yes.
TCU has great players. Georgia has great players. Now, will more of Georgia's players play in the NFL than TCU's players? Absolutely they will. Does that have anything to do with the outcome of this game? It objectively does not have anything to do with the outcome of this game.
Georgia fan, it's much like our chagrined, I hate the national media talking about Stetson Bennett, because he is an elite quarterback, but he was a walk-on, and he went to JUCO, and he came back, and so the narrative has changed. Don't do what national media did to Stetson Bennett to TCU. These guys are elite.
They're very good at football, and they've proven that over and over and over again. And I think the second big reason to be nervous if you're a Georgia fan is that there will never be a moment in this game that TCU thinks they're going to lose the game. Now, I think that's true about Georgia as well, and I made that point last week on the show. I don't know. All the days run together. Doesn't matter.
It's a big headache.
It's been one big day.
It's a Pepto week. Get that Pepto.
It's been one big day. Ohio State fans, you understand, right? Are you still here?
I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second, Daniel. Let me scroll the comments. They're not here.
No, they're not here. They're not here. I don't think there'll ever be a point in this game when Georgia believes that they're going to lose. I also don't think there'll ever be a point in this game when TCU believes they're going to lose. And so if Georgia lets off the gas even a little bit, TCU will be within striking distance. We've already talked about what a big play offense this is, how they can score quickly and how they can come at you in waves. We've already talked about what an opportunistic defense this is, how they can take the ball away and score on their own. Georgia will never be too far ahead in this game for you, the Dog fan, to feel comfortable. That's yet another reason to be nervous.
I told you we're up by 15 in the fourth quarter, Daniel, and you still got that bucket attached.
Oh, it is just
right here. We're going to come back after this and tell you why we think we're going to win. We're going to have stats. But, Daniel, first, we teased the people. We had an announcement. We said it was coming.
Is it announcement time? Is it time for the big announcement?
It's time right now, Daniel. People have been asking us.
People have been asking.
Locked On Bulldogs, saying, Daniel, Clint, when are you going to have a merch store?
When are we going to open up that merch store?
By golly, ladies and gentlemen, it is now. We are now live with our merch store. Daniel, what is it called? Because we have a couple of friends to thank for this, but we have a name for our store.
We do. The $199 merch store is officially open for business. And so if you consider yourself to be part of the $199, if you're a loyal third segment listener, then this is the place for you. There's links over in the Twitter. There's links in the description. It's bonfire.com/store/the199. I'm not going to say that 100 times. There's links in the description. There's links over on the Twitter. We got T-shirts, sweatshirts. There's several different designs over there. We think you're going to like them. We made them for you.
This is for fans by fans.
That's right. Go check them out over there and let us know what you think. And then when you order a shirt and you get it, let us know that you got it. Let us see it because we're pretty excited about it. So $199 store up and running.
Hey, also want to let you know about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is fantastic. They are the place to go right now to get the job and the candidate together in the best way possible. LinkedIn
right.
has every single foreseeable network that you can ever imagine. Businesses being up and running as the economy gets ramped up. We need jobs in over 815 million, over that amount, networks worldwide for you to find the right candidate for the right job.
I mean,
Your job.
TCU went out and
Your
hired
team.
Sonny Dykes. Did they use LinkedIn? I can't confirm or deny, but I bet they did.
Look, if they did, good on them, because he turned their program around. He was the right candidate for the
right.
right job right away. So right now, you can get applicants for free to your specific team with the with the website, linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to get the exact candidate. Don't mess around going elsewhere.
Don't do
do it. Get the Kirby Smart
Be
of
better.
your dreams right
Be-
to your team. Be better.
Be better than that.
Locked it
LinkedIn.com/lockedoncollege.
Daniel,
Yes.
people, we talked about the 199. We talked about why to be nervous. We said get the buckets because TCU is never out of this game. They always got a dog in a fight. Georgia always got a dog in a fight. So this is not going to be 60 minutes. At no point in this game are we going to have a breather. Are we going to kick our feet up? It is going to be hell for 60 minutes, which is good for Dogs because we always got a shot, and we know Kirby's locking the gates for 60 minutes. But Daniel, let's be honest. You and I,
May I?
if
May I
we
be
were to
honest with
say, we're going to be honest here, for the next segment, we're going to get real fanboyed out. Because if you were to ask me, Clint, tell me the advantages that TCU has over Georgia, I'm going to list them. I've just listed them.
Oh, no.
We are going to win, Daniel, because we have better players, better coaches, better scheme, better team everywhere. And most importantly, at crucial positions. Daniel, I'm going to give you some stats of this TCU defense.
Okay, let's talk about the TCU defense.
Let's talk about the TCU defense.
I'd love to talk about the TCU defense.
They are big and nasty. Their linebackers, I think,
Big,
average.
thick dudes.
I'm telling you, Daniel, they are 6'2", 245.
We're talking about broad-shouldered men.
Very broad shouldered. I'm talking could have been oxen in another life.
Yep.
Okay. Now that's really good.
It's great.
It's
great. You going down to Venice Beach? It's going to be great. You understand? You're going to do some bicep curls out on the sand. That's going to come in real handy for you.
Real handy. However, swiveling a hip to turn and cover a dig on a cover 2, oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no. TCU defense amongst 65 Power 5 teams, Daniel.
Okay, so there's 65 Power 5 teams. I'm ready.
Okay. TCU's defense among them. The pass rush grade
Okay.
is 58th out of 65.
Okay, so near the bottom, but that's just one category.
Sure. How much of that time they win? The percentage win we've talked about again, staying ahead of the chains or behind the chains.
Mm-hmm.
They are 62nd out of 65.
Oh, that's right darn near the bottom.
But what if I was to tell you their pressure rate is 63rd?
Oh dear, it's going the wrong way.
And what if I was to tell you their blitz rate? So they don't get to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And the blitzing rate is 65th out of 65 Power 5 teams, Daniel.
Okay, so we're not getting any pressure here.
There is zero pressure on the quarterback. Now I ask you,
Okay.
does that set up good for Todd Monken or bad for Todd Monken?
Sets up pretty good for Stetson Bennett the fourth, I think.
Fleming Bennett the fourth.
Now, we talked about Georgia's tight ends against TCU's linebackers. It's a nightmare matchup. It's a nightmare matchup for TCU.
You got the wrong weapon to go against them at 6'2", 245. Sorry.
It is. Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, who, by the way,
6'7", 265.
Oscar Delp, throw him in there as well.
Okay.
It's a nightmare matchup for TCU. Can I just say enough is enough for me, Clint?
Here we go.
Okay. I've been waking up every morning with just
Toad,
litter,
vomit toad.
just strewn about on the windows of my house.
They got trespassing laws in Tennessee.
Not strict enough, Clint. We've tried to be kind. We tried to be cordial. And I do have a lot of respect for TCU.
We had some laughs as fans. You guys know how to fan very well.
But Georgia's going to beat the crap out of TCU tonight.
Skull
Okay?
drag.
Georgia's going to beat the crap out of TCU. Georgia's going to run away and hide in this game. This is going to be one of the national narrative most boring title games that's ever been played. I really do believe that there is not a universe. There is a universe in which TCU keeps this game close. But I do not foresee any way that TCU wins this game on Monday night.
There is no football reason for TCU to win this game.
Right.
There is no, you cannot say to me, well, they can outdo us this or outdo us that. That is not a thing in this game.
And to be honest, I've not heard a TCU fan try to say that to me.
No.
So while TCU fans, some more than others, are incredibly thirsty for disrespect, just really, really want to be disrespected. While that is true,
Daniel, they ain't chopping cilantro enough.
They have had cilantro chopped at them. I don't know how it even works. While that's true, I don't even think if TCU fans are honest, they can even feel disrespected, because no TCU fans on the internet or in real life have actually tried to tell me in what ways TCU will exploit Georgia in this game, in what ways TCU will have advantages over Georgia. I do think you're correct that if TCU finds a way to win this game, it will be due to some really weird freak circumstances. It will not be because they took advantage of matchups and were able to mismatch Georgia and exploit Georgia over here. There's no football argument to be made that TCU is going to win this game.
There is, the better play callers are on Georgia's side.
That's true.
The better defenders are on Georgia's side. The better offensive weapons are on Georgia's side. There is no check on the list of TCU. It's going to be a drum beating. I think we're going to run when we want. I think we're going to pass when we want. I think TCU's defense has no chance against us. And you could talk about all-world corners, and every TCU fan I know wants to talk about their all-world corners. And then the conversation gets real quiet after that, Daniel.
That's right.
I just say, okay, fine. You might be able to hold my wide receivers to half their production, which, by the way, is still something like 2 touchdowns and 150. Okay.
I'm going to name Georgia's 4 best pass catchers.
Okay.
Do you know how many of them are going to be wide receivers, Clint?
Not the majority.
One.
Kenny McIntosh, Darnell Washington, Brock Bowers. Have fun.
Corner's not the way you beat Georgia.
Nope.
It's just not. It's not the way that you beat Georgia.
Okay, so that's out the window. Now we go TCU offense. A cardiac arrest, explosiveness offense. And you say, well, hey, Ohio State threw all over the yard against Georgia. Who says we can't? Well, first of all, you don't have C.J. Stroud, and you don't have wide receivers to their skill level, and you don't have Georgia pissing down their leg in zone coverage.
We hope. We hope. Is it segment 1 again? Can we go back to segment 1?
Bucket is back.
Okay. We're going full bucket again.
Bucket,
I tried to exude all the confidence I could. I'm still going to be hugging that bucket this entire game. I can't do it. I can't. All right, let's get into score predictions, Clint, in the third segment. Enough talking. Let's talk about what's going to happen in this game when we come back.
But first, I want to let you know about BetOnline. BetOnline is your sportsbook experts. They have everything that you need to bet on this game and many others. We already teased that the line has come back It started off at 13.5, 13, went down to 12.5, back up to 13. Money came in heavy on TCU. And look, at the end of the day, I don't care about it that much. I care about betting this game and betting the money line to win game, which is now down 450. Is that what you said?
It's around 450.
450
in
for
a
the
lot of
juice.
places. That's not bad juice in a game that I told you I just don't think Georgia loses this game. I can see a lot of scenarios that play out in this game. You do a little first half Georgia full game Georgia money line, you get that down under 200, under minus 200 for the juice. BetOnline's got all these. They got prop bets, they got money line sprinkles, they got parlays, they got everything that you need. Get over there, BetOnline, the official sportsbook partner of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, and the place that Clint and I trust to do all of our online betting. Use the promo code Locked On to get a bonus on your initial deposit. That is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.
Score prediction time. The 199, the loyal third segment listener, which, by the way, get over there right now to the store. You can get a loyal third segment t-shirt.
Oh, we got that t-shirt. That loyal third segment listener
t-shirt. You got
that
hoodie. You get that.
If you're a loyal third segment listener and you don't have a loyal third segment listener t-shirt, let me ask you, are you a loyal third segment listener? People are asking.
It's just philosophical. Look,
people are asking.
I'm not going to say you're not, but I am going to ask the question.
No, far be it from me to say it. It's not my business, in fact. Actually, it is. It is my business. It's the 199.
I'm trying to get one down. You're trying to throw one up. There we go.
No, that's fine. The 199. The 199. Subliminal advertising. It's the best. It's the best kind.
Okay, Daniel. Score prediction for this game. We did this earlier on in the season to talk about other games that Georgia was going to get into. I think you and I may have a similar feel for this game.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Georgia side of the score. I think the floor of Georgia in this game is 30.
I agree. I was just about to say I like something in the 30s. I actually don't know that I like Georgia to get into the 40s, and so I think I actually like the 30s in this game for Georgia.
I'm saying under 35. I'm gonna go 33. I'm just gonna throw that 33 out there.
You think? I'm sorry. To be clear, you think the University of Georgia is going to go to the national championship game and score how many? 33 points? Boy, that is a wild score prediction.
Wild score prediction, is it not, Daniel?
It's just fascinating times.
I'm just plucking numbers out of the air.
I think I'm going to go 38. I think Georgia will be able to get what they want, but will also be content to try to slow the game down at times. I think they will try to come out early, come out hot, come out fast and aggressive. But I do think then in the second half, you will see Georgia try to slow the game down at times. So, 35-38 is a number that I like for Georgia.
This feels to me like the LA Lakers with Kobe and Shaq a little bit, Daniel.
Okay.
When the Lakers wanted to, they just threw that down in the post to Shaq, and he just backed a dude down just methodically and saying, I'm gonna get my points. And when they really wanted to, they dished it out to Kobe, and he could do whatever he wanted on the perimeter. So it feels like our offense is in this game, where Kirby's going to tell Todd, hey, I need 7 minutes off this clock. And Todd's going to throttle it down a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to stop throwing it. Please don't hear me say throttle it down.
That's not how Georgia throttles it down.
Thank you. That's not how we throttle it down at all.
You may see a death march, by the way, which...
Get over to your boys 199. Well, you're going to see a death march. And if we see a death march, I am going to be punching.
I'm going to be worked up. Be a little worked up. All right, let's talk about the TCU side of things. Clint, how many explosive plays does TCU get? How many points does TCU score?
Okay. I'm going to start with TCU has the explosive play ability of number 1 and number 1 alone. That's their explosive play.
Okay.
Now, if you watch TCU earlier on in the season, a couple things did not work well against players that played against TCU, and that's called tackling.
Oh, yeah.
We may have been out of position quite a few times at Ohio State. That's because 7 seconds was what we afforded C.J. Stroud. I don't think that's going to be a problem in this game. I think the interior offensive line for TCU is paper thin against our D-line. I think they get 2 big plays. That's all I'm giving them. I'm giving them 2 explosive plays. And by the way, did you hear Shu this last week talking about yards per explosive play and points? It was fascinating.
It was that meme where that GIF where just the math symbols were all flying around over my head.
Here's what it is. Shu says basically you give up a lot of explosive yards, they equate to points, like a 10-to-1 ratio. It's kind of like tokens at Chuck E. Cheese. Little tickets.
Here we go. Thank you for explaining it in a way that our listeners can understand.
I saw your face.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fine.
Every 10, it's a point. So I think TCU gets 13 points in this game, Daniel. I think they have 130 yards of explosive play. 13 is my guess.
That's my number as well. 13 points. I got them at 1 touchdown, 2 field goals.
Yep.
I got them 3 scoring drives. Might throw in a missed field goal or something in there. I'm not saying they won't move the ball against Georgia. I got them at 13 points. Now, typically playoff games, championship games, high-scoring games, right? This is typically the case. It's what you find. And so this would be bucking the trend a little bit.
Yes.
If that were the case. But I just think this Georgia defense got one more in them. I think this Georgia defense got one more statement in it. Held Alabama last year to 18. I see a lot of nerves, and I see a low scoring output from TCU. Scoring drives that don't cash in the end zone and have to settle for field goals. And then I see a lot of stops. I'm not sure about the turnovers. Obviously, turnovers would help Georgia, but I think this Georgia defense is going to be able to shut them down. And I'll say this. If the score happens to be 31-13 on the overreaction show tonight, I'm going to have a big smile on my face. Just because we may have a little action on the 31-13.
Oh my.
And pays handsomely.
We may already be looking at next year.
We may already have tickets
plans
in hand. We may already have tickets in hand for next year. That's right.
Look, I just at the end of the day, I could see this game getting sideways. Do you remember the hype around Michigan last year, Daniel? Not this year.
Do I remember Michigan fans? Yeah, I do.
I remember Michigan
TCU fans, am I right? Michigan fans, Michigan fans.
Oh,
am I right?
Not here. And it got away and it got ugly in a hurry. The game was not competitive very quickly.
Mm-hmm. You mean the Tennessee game this year?
Oh,
sorry. You were talking about the Michigan game last year.
Oh no!
Print the commemorative book.
My man said Jim Harbaugh, Schupel,
Whipple.
Same guy.
Yep. Well, no, one of them's going to advance his career by going to the NFL. And the other one's going to start Joe Milton.
By the way, next year's okay. Michigan last year, all that smoke, none of that fire, and it got sideways in a hurry. This TCU team better watch out, because if you don't check yourself, this Georgia defense is going to smell blood on the water in a bad way for you. And Max Duggan's story gets ugly, and no one wants to talk about it again if you're not careful.
Yeah, I don't see that being the case, but I do see. I'm staying away from the spread. None of the money I put on this game is going to be on that spread. I don't want any part of that. I do think it could be a close game. I do think Georgia could win in a blowout. I don't see it. I don't see TCU winning this game. And so, am I confident going into tonight? Absolutely, I am. Am I nervous going into tonight? You better believe that I am.
Bottles and buckets.
Will we be back tonight recording an overreaction show? You know we will. You know this is how we do. We'll be back, win or lose.
We'll stand in the paint.
Yeah, we're here. We're not going anywhere. Hopefully, Georgia fans, we will see you in a few hours celebrating our second national championship in 2 years. Boy, some things are going to be said. You want to talk about hyperbole?
I was just going to say.
Some things are going to be said
If you have a loved one that covers SEC football, pray for them now because
Put them away. Put them to
coming
bed early.
We're coming for jugulars.
Put them to bed early. All right. He's Clint. I'm Daniel. 199. Thanks for listening. We're the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, and we will see you guys after the game.
See ya.